guys. So today we're going to talk about essentially how to review like pro VODs, like whether it's from competitive or like Twitch or something, or sort of watching them in an official match or even like scrims if you have access to that. And sort of how to watch it and essentially get like data or like useful data from it that you can like learn and like up then apply to your own stuff. But we're mainly going to talk about sort of the first thing, which is reviewing the pro play and getting data that's like good and useful and like taking that and working on it. So there's a few things like when you think about self-improvement before we go more into this, there's a few things that you need to consider, right? And like different work processes or workflows of like improving. So the first thing is essentially reviewing pro play, then getting information from it, then taking that information, watching yourself play and see if you actually use that information or if you like do that stuff that the pros do. And if you don't, then you add it to list and you go work on it. Another thing is maybe you're working with a coach and the coach has already given you, this is the things you need to work on. You need to work on your blink management for tracer. You need to work on your positioning. You need to like work on your pulse rate. Then you can go to self VOD review and you can sort of go look at yourself and be like, okay, these are the things that he's given me. This is how I do it, right? Or how I should be doing it. Let me go watch myself and see if I actually am doing it, right? Then after you self VOD review, you could sort of get an idea now. You can go work on it. Sometimes this is a little bit trickier, but sometimes what you can also do is you can just VOD yourself and then try and find mistakes that you do yourself. And then from there, you can just get that data point, like, oh, I'm dying too early, or oh, I'm not using my ultimate, I think, as well as I could. I'm not getting value, or I'm lamping too early, like, or my lamp positioning is not good. It's not on a corner. Then you can get that data again, and you can use that, and you can go work on it. So these are like the three main ways I'd say you can really go about like actually like improving as an individual. But today we're mainly going to focus on reviewing how to review like essentially pro play and like get information from it. And later, this might be a series, we'll see. But later in the future, I'm going to talk about how to like take that data and put it into self like VOD reviews. I'm also going to talk about essentially how you can VOD review yourself and find topics when you're VODing yourself and how to like take that and get information from there too. So as we get into this, the first thing I want to talk about is when you're sort of watching, like someone maybe like Dante or Super, like, like really good players, play, there's going to be a drastic difference watching them on like Twitch versus watching them in like, Overwatch League or maybe you're watching Contenders players or maybe you use Scrim VODs, right? And the way to sort of think about this, right, is very simply in competitive, you're going to see a lot more people min-maxing their micro and being able to get a lot more value because there's not as much coordination, right? Because people inherently in comp, right, are going to be punished less because of lack of coordination. Hence, you'll be able to see like people just inherently like look to get more damage. Like they'll look to like essentially like position more aggressively to like get more damage. They might heal less in sort of situations. They might be more aggressive with like their blink usage because they think they can get more value because they won't get punished. Versus scrims, right? You're going to see a lot more team-based plays where you're going to see like maybe someone is like Zen, maybe looking to orb someone that gives like team value, as well as playing a bit more safe because they're scared of like the enemy team because they can actually have coordinated dives. So you'll see like a lot of macro team based plays. So you'll sort of like it'll be a lot more safe stuff, but you'll sort of see how things like work together. Now going more into this, when you actually go in and you sort of VOD, you want to sort of understand like what type of actually topic are you focusing on. You can't just sort of say, hey, I'm going to watch this player and yeah, I'm going to learn from him. That's very difficult because there's a lot of things you can watch and analyze, and like it's at least when you're starting, it's very difficult to sort of say I'm just going to watch this one player and this I'm going to learn everything from him. Normally you watch, you sort of like look at one thing. Once you get good at it, you might be able to watch a player and like look at like at least like 4 or 5 things, but that takes a lot of practice. Because also if you're really like a little bit more skilled and you like know what the person's supposed to be doing, you're going to see like anomalies or like something that's unusual like a lot faster. But if you don't know what the person should be doing and stuff, then focusing on one thing is essentially going to make it a lot easier for you. So alt usage, CD usage, I did CD 1-2 because some people have multiple CDs on as like nade sleep, some people may have more. Target priority, who are they actually focusing, whether it's heal priority or damage priority. Awareness, because you want to be aware of your surroundings. Positioning, because sorry, my cat decided to come say hello. Aurora, you want to say hello to people? Oh, come say hello to people. Oh, this is my cat Aurora. She's very, very needy right now. Yeah. Okay, you can go now. Okay. But positioning. So positioning is at the start of fight, as well as mid fight. So that can change, right? You set up somewhere, then maybe you move somewhere in the middle of the fight. And last thing is survivability. Like how are they sort of surviving? What are they doing to survive? And how are they approaching that? So while you're sort of watching yourself, you're gonna like essentially not what well while you're watching, right, a pro, like we're gonna look at fielder and we'll talk about it. You're gonna watch it. You're gonna sort of ask yourself why, like why are they sort of targeting this person? Maybe with like this CD. Why are they putting heal orb on this person? Why are they using trance in this situation and healing this target? And sometimes it's very target focused. Sometimes it won't be target focused. It won't be someone they're actually doing it on. It's more be related to like a game state. And what I mean by game state is sort of like what's actually happening around them, not related to like one person. So it could be like, oh, the enemy team, is down two, and he's gonna use his the enemy team is down two, and maybe they're rallying in, so he has to counter rally to try and live, and that's like sort of the game state based off like how many people the enemy teams are down, plus they're alting, right? What's happening? Maybe it's based off of positioning, and they see like a soldier out of position, so they look to like sort of dive that soldier, and that has to do with awareness. So there's a lot of things that can happen in like the overall arching scheme. So looking at sort of the game state is really important as well. So you're not just tunnel visioning on like two people or like what that Zen player is looking at, because I guarantee you, professional players aren't just like they're thinking a lot also what's happening around them and what the game state is. Something else that I think is really interesting. A lot of people will always talk about like a player's play style, and that's something that is definitely like tricky, right? It's not something that it's like oh, I should figure out a player's play style. And normally how you can like figure that out at a higher level is you'd sort of go about it by like literally like looking at all of these and understanding how a player uses all of these, and then go watch another player and then sort of compare and then see if there's anything different. And different teams have different play styles based off what like their main objective is, right, in terms of macro. What you'll also notice too is that where was I going with this? Oh, is that like normally like if you're again like a coach and you've been coaching the game for a while, you might already notice sort of what the play style is or the difference is, because you already know what's sort of considered like normal in these. Like you might be like, oh, this is all usage is normal. This CD usage is normal. This CD usage is normal. This CD usage is normal. This target priority is a bit weird. Everything else is normal here, but the target priority is different. So maybe this team is looking to like focus on like I don't know, like forcing the Sombra out really early instead of like focusing tanks initially. I wonder why that is. Oh, they're playing against like Lip, one of the best Sombras in the world. So maybe they're deciding to like pressure Sombra out, faster, so that Sombra doesn't build EMP or Lip doesn't get as much value, right? Maybe it's something like that, and that's a playstyle option that they're choosing, and that's the coaching staff and their decision. So let's sort of go into it. Like I said, we're going to we're essentially going to watch Fielder play. We're going to focus on one thing. We're going to look at his orb usage and his Discord orb usage, because I think that's more interesting, and sort of how he changes his Discord orb usage. The other thing that's really important, and I forgot to mention it, but when you're watching like pro play or like scrims or something like that, you have to look at the matchups, because stuff can change when you're playing different matchups. So I believe here when we're watching, we're going to be seeing a mirror matchup. So let's see here. Yes, it is a mirror matchup. So it starts, mirror matchup right off the bat. You see Fielder just spamming. That's fine. We're not going to focus too much on that. We're going to sort of look at like the Discord. So we'll stop here for a second. Discord Sombra. Okay, he just sort of saw the Sombra. He's going through. He threw a Discord on just to get some Discord value. Threw a Discord again. Hit it. Put it on Wrecking Ball. Why Wrecking Ball? Well, again, probably trying to get it on something while they're rotating. Wrecking Ball is also a good target, because if he shoots Wrecking Ball, removes armor, then the Wrecking Ball can't get as much value. Let's keep watching here. Okay, is over here. He shoots it on Lip now. It's the first target he sees. He just spams. Notice how he's putting like he's putting the Discord orb like before the fight starts. Why? Well, that just makes the most sense, because he puts it out before the fight starts, then he can start doing his own damage. Now he swaps to D.Va, and that's a little interesting, but again, if you think about it, it's the only target that he can see, so it's fine. So he's basically, again, constantly, putting on targets based on what he can see and pressuring them. Okay, this is fine. He's rotating because the enemy team's backline is pushing him, but then they decide to brawl. So he puts it on Harmony Orb, and then he puts a Discord on D.Va first, because D.Va is what he can see, so he Discords D.Va. Makes sense. He starts shooting D.Va. Now he starts shooting here. We're not going to change the prior party, but that's interesting. And he Discords Zenyatta. Why would he Discord Zenyatta? Now this is interesting, because the D.Va is a tank, and you can burst the tank and you can kill the tank, but he Discords Zen. And if you think about this a little bit, it's actually because the fact of is if he Discords Zen, and if you actually also look at it, what the other person's doing, and I realize I don't have Epic Pen open, so I'll quickly open Epic Pen. Oops, the bug. Bug is very annoying. Okay, there we go. If you look at what the other Zen is doing, so he's discorded his Yaki, but Fielder's also discorded. So what that means is like both Zens are actually looking to discord each other here. And why is that? Well, it's interesting because you think about it, Zen's a squishy. Zen also cannot heal themselves. Brig can heal themselves with Inspire, plus Brig is a shield, plus Brig has some armor. So Brig is inherently harder, plus Brig can get harm York. So Brig is inherently harder to kill than Zen. As well as the ranged threat, right? The only threat to Fielder right now is actually an enemy Zen if the flankers are forced out. Because Lee Jae-hong on the Brig is far away. So discording Zen here and shooting him and trying to essentially like force him out would make sense because he's the threat. As well as he has less utility, so all these reasons, it makes perfect sense. As well as if you force the Zen out, right? That's huge because then the enemy team may not have as much as utility. So right over here, he drops, he discords, he misses a discord, notice how he was on D.Va first, right? Puts it on Zen. This is interesting too, because the D.Va is like 1 HP here, and he kept it on D.Va that he would have easily broken the D.Va mech. But then if you think about it, at the same time, why put it on D.Va when literally a D.Va is like already gonna lose the mech? So if you just keep shooting, right? D.Va's mech already gonna get broken, then you're gonna have to change discord again, so why actually move it? Right? And if you look at this situation as well, Fielder's already down, so they need to get like a big like impact trade here to sort of like get value. So they Lip ends up getting 2, right? Fearless and Sparkle, and then they kill D.Va mech. Fielder's trying to live, Doha gets a kill, so now they're even in the game state. So Discord went on Ball first, right? Because he was again in front of him, and then he shoots Ball, and then he goes forward. And I want to go back actually to also look at this a little bit more in detail, because what's also interesting about this is when this happens, Discord's still there, if you notice, he forces that Zen so far out. That Zen is out of the fight. And during this whole time, that Zen is still Discord, which allows Hanmin to actually kill the Zen. And if you notice here, Fielder still lives, which is pretty big, because now if you notice Fielder's living, backline lives, he's able to carry. So it's interesting how that Zen Discord priority and how he's able to kill the enemy Zen affected the fight even though they were down. That's a little more analysis, and I just wanted to go into that because I think it's interesting. Okay, look at this next fight. We'll look at a few more, and then we'll sort of stop. So he's sort of chilling. He's looking for some, damage. No Discord. I guess he's scouting right now for Sombra. He gives him Orb. Okay, you see Sombra. He throws Discord on Sombra instantly. Why Discord here? Well, I guess you think about it, right? I think it's 25 boost. If your Sombra's this low and discorded and he takes a body shot, I don't think it'll kill the Sombra because it's 48 a shot, but it'll definitely put that Sombra in like a really low HP. If you hit headshot though, I think it'll kill. Hence that Sombra's probably just going to translocate out because the Discord's on there and scared of being shot, because if that Sombra dies, that's like really bad. So just inherently putting that Discord on really early is good pressure. EMP happens, he managed to live the EMP. Okay, so Discord goes on D.Va here. Okay, fair. Frigg doesn't make sense. We sort of talked about why, because he can get heals plus shield. So D.Va's the next big target that you could pressure, been easy to spam on. D.Va's there. He's shooting. Can't see the D.Va. He looks for a right click. So this is interesting. He looks for a right click, but he also, how he approaches this is interesting too. Because Discord, he could have maybe looked for another Discord target, but there's nothing there, I guess, right now. But he sort of like kept the Discord on D.Va. I'm curious to see if he tries to change it. Let's sort of watch here. So he does, nope, he doesn't change it. So this is interesting too if you think about it. So why would he not change Discord when he wants to trance and then it looks like he's trying to brawl engage? Why would he not put it on Brig or Zen? And then if you think about it, let's sort of see what happens here. The EMP also happens. Brig Zen just dies. Then after Zen dies, Brig doesn't get a lot of heals, so now Brig dies. Now if you think about it, during this whole time, well, almost the whole time, I think D.Va had Discord. Let's watch this again. Also, what's also interesting about this is when he discords D.Va, he then peeks back, which resets that Discord timer on the D.Va, which then means D.Va has Discord for even a higher uptime. But let's see this here. So right at this whole time right now, D.Va has Discord, D.Va has Discord, D.Va has Discord, D.Va has Discord. So even after both these people die, D.Va's still over here, still has Discord. D.Va finally doesn't have Discord right over here because D.Va goes out of the LOS, which means that Discord uptime was actually getting a lot of value. And if you put it on Brig or Zen, if you think about it, they would die instantly because they died without Discord, and the Discord didn't go away. So this is actually pretty smart that he left it on Div on purpose, because that Discord will stay on for longer. Okay, Discord's ball, kills ball. Discord Sombra, what's close, makes sense. Gets a nice right click pick. Okay, and I think we'll sort of call it here. So hopefully this sort of makes sense, right? Hopefully you're understanding sort of what I'm getting at. I'm always asking the question, why? Like, why is this person doing this with this resource? Is it like, is there something going on in the game state? Like, are people up, down a lot? Or like, is he trying to get a trade? Or is he trying to carry? Or is it something macro based? And if you sort of think about like what we actually learned from this, right? Because we do want to summarize, you know, what do we actually learn? Essentially, what you do is you just take this and let's sort of just, it's gonna let me. Okay, I guess it's not gonna let me. 1 minute. All right, we'll go over here and we'll sort of scroll down here. We'll use this text box. So it seems like, in my opinion, the first thing we learned is sort of like the value of, you know, discording before you shoot. Right, so always gonna get that Discord out first on something, and this can even be like, you know, this can be something as simple as, you know, shooting like whatever you see. Then the next thing I'd say is, you know, the mid-fight Zen Discord, because this is your only other ranged threat, or this is your only other threat besides flankers. And if flankers are being handled, then you don't have to worry about this, right? So, whoops. It's weird has it an arrow thing there. Besides flankers, okay. Next, we learned sort of how you can like, you know, you want to try and reset the Discord timer, which is normally 3 seconds. So you like repeak, you played a repeak to essentially like reset the timer. And the last thing is like, you want to Discord something that will like stay for a while, when you're trancing. Like, if you know you're gonna burst something, you don't need, if you know you're gonna kill something, then don't bother discording. So now if you sort of look at this, now you sort of have like, you know, 4 meaningful things that you could essentially go and now check in a self VOD. You could go VOD yourself and be like, okay, do I Discord before like I shoot? And do I just Discord what I see? Do I shoot that, right? In the mid fight, when the flankers really aren't there and not pressuring me, am I Discording the enemy Zen, and am I pressuring that Zen out, or is my team punishing that Zen? Am I, you know, resetting my Discord timer by repeaking sometimes so the Discord stays on longer so I don't have to re-put it on? When I trance, am I Discording like someone like Diva if I know I can like kill the squishies already because I'm trancing and we're going aggressive? So there are 4 things, and you can easily self VOD. I'm not saying you focus on all of them together. Maybe focus on like when you're actually playing comp, maybe focus on just the first thing. Once you have the first thing down, then maybe you do focus on the second thing. Once you get that down, you do this thing. And be patient with yourself. Like when you're learning, it takes time. Don't expect to like learn something just like this. It might take a few days for you to like actually get it and get it like clean, where you don't have to really think about it. And that's okay. It takes time. And making mistakes is all part of it. Like, you make mistakes, it's okay. Don't get frustrated. Like, you'll learn from it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I'm gonna do a few more like this. This was an example essentially of, you know, reviewing pro play, in this case Fielder, and getting like the actual data. Then what I also want to do a VOD or like a YouTube video on is sort of taking that data and then going and sort of like watching you can watch me play maybe and sort of seeing, am I doing, you know, what like, you know, I learned in this VOD. Then after that, I think the hardest thing is actually, without any data, without any pro, can I VOD myself and can I learn, right? Can I find topics myself using sort of this and some other techniques to sort of figure out how to improve? Okay, if you guys enjoy it, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. That means a lot to me. And yeah, I'll thank you.